We're going to call the public safety meeting together for March 2nd. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderman Boyd,
Present.
Alderwoman Davis,
Present.
Alderwoman Howard,
Present.
Alderwoman Spencer, Alderwoman Boyd,
Present.
Alderman Bosley, Alderman Muhammad, Alderman Oldenburg, Alderman Ryan,
Here.
Alderwoman Clark Hubbard, Alderman Page,
Present.
Chairman Vaccaro.
Present.
Seven,
Seven.
we have quorum.
Yeah, 7 present. We do have a quorum. Let's see, we're going to approval of the minutes, but I don't see that. I guess, do we not have the minutes from the past meeting? It doesn't show them.
No,
So
sir.
well, we don't have minutes, so we won't approve them. I'm going to let everyone know that I talked to the sponsor of Board Bill 122. Alderman Coatar has agreed that the board bill needs much more work. So it might come back in the next session in another form. But the board bill will not be heard. So if you're here to speak on that and you want to be bored, you can hang on for the rest of the meeting. But we're not going to hear that bill today. And thank you for coming if you did come to speak on that. So we're going to go with Alderwoman's Board Bill 85. Alderwoman Howard, you're welcome to introduce Board Bill. Oh, she's having.
I'm sorry.
She was going to phone it in.
No, I was trying to take care of some business. Good afternoon, Mr. Chair. Board Bill 85 will repeal a liquor control district in the 14th Ward. The reason I'm doing this is one, with the new configuration of the wards, these things are going to become obsolete anyway. They're all going to have to be dealt with in one way or another. So I'm removing that and moving forward. And if we'll go ahead and deal with it as each person applies for a license.
Okay.
And I'm open for questions.
Yeah, let's go down the list. So Vice Chairman Boyd, any questions?
Yes, I don't think anybody should be opening up any more liquor stores in the 14th Ward. I don't think any more restaurants should be created with liquor licenses. I think you should keep it in place because I live on the north side. So why do I care for real, right?
Alderman Boyd, I don't know.
I think he was just
But
picking on you.
I don't think we'll be stealing too many people away from you. So
This is your ward, right, Alderwoman?
I'm sorry.
This is your ward, right?
That's my ward and I'm going to do it.
It's
Okay.
good with me.
All right.
I see we're going to have trouble today. Alderwoman Davis.
I have no questions. Thank you.
I would assume Alderman Howard would not. Alderwoman Spencer. Any questions?
No question, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Okay. Alderwoman Pam Boyd.
No questions. Thank you, Carol.
Alderman Bosley.
No questions. Thank you.
Alderman Muhammad. Alderman Ryan.
No questions. Thank you.
Alderman Clark Hubbard is not here. Alderman Page.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just have one quick question, kind of a projection, which may not be a fair question, but I'll ask it anyway. I'd like to know if the Alderwoman will yield for a quick question.
Alderman Howard, would you yield for a question from Alderman Page?
Surely.
Alderman Page, please proceed.
Thank you. I'd like to know, in your opinion, what is the likely outcome of this repeal?
Well, the only thing that it would change is that people can sell packaged liquor. That's the only thing that it changes.
Okay, well, and I will.
had a couple of problem areas that had packaged liquor stores, and that was the reason for putting it in place. And I don't anticipate to have that anymore, so.
Okay, all right. I will concede to the same point as the Alderman from the 22nd. It's your ward, but I was just curious, you know, is what good will come out of this repeal? And just kind of wanted to know.
Well, it'll open up places for, you know, people to do business. I think commerce will be enhanced, and I guess the other piece is that it would open up, it would close the door on litigation for to the city for people not having being able to open these things.
Okay,
So
thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Chair. I yield back.
Alderman Page, if I wouldn't mind, because of the new ward configurations, you could end up in a ward that a part of the ward has, you know, where you can't open and get a liquor license, part of the ward will. And I think these are going to have to be addressed by the aldermen of the new wards as it comes about. Because you literally could have a ward now that'll have areas that have certain rules and other areas don't. But anyway, I'm going to, Alderwoman Howard, you're recognized to close on Board Bill 85.
I would like the committee to approve Board Bill 85 to move on to the larger body.
Okay, we'd take a motion to pass Board Bill 85 with a do pass recommendation.
I'm so moved.
Okay,
Second.
okay, we have a first and a second. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderman Boyd,
Aye.
Alderwoman Davis,
Aye.
Alderwoman Howard,
Aye.
Alderwoman Spencer,
Aye.
Alderwoman Boyd,
Aye.
Alderman Bosley.
Aye.
Alderman Muhammad, Alderman Oldenburg, Alderman Ryan,
Aye.
Alderwoman Clark Hubbard, Alderman Page,
Aye.
Chairman Vaccaro.
Aye.
9 aye votes.
By your vote, we've passed Board Bill 85 out with a do pass recommendation. Now we're up to a discussion with firefighter Dave Clark. Firefighter Clark, if you want to go ahead and let us know why you're here and what you wanted to talk about. We had it in our things to take public talk about this. So let's hear what you have to say, and then we'll just open it up for questions from the committee.
All right, well, let me start off by saying good afternoon, and thank you, Mr. Chair, and to the rest of the honorable members of the committee for giving me the opportunity to speak to you today. As Mr. Chair said, my name's...
Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. I have to swear you in. That's
Oh,
part of our
okay.
deal now. And I need to know if you're representing yourself or Local 73 or another group, but if you could raise your hand, and if you
Yes.
swear whatever you're going to tell us is the truth, we would appreciate that. So you swear to tell the truth.
Dan Clark, I'm representing firefighters Local 73, and I do swear to tell the truth.
You're the best. Okay, now we're good to go.
So yeah, as I said, I'm representing firefighters Local 73. We represent all firefighters, EMS dispatchers here in the city. I'm also a captain on the department, Truck 13, proudly serving Hamilton Heights and Wells Goodfellow neighborhoods. I've come to speak to the committee today about captain and battalion chiefs promotions that were approved by the personnel department and then held up by the public safety director. From what we've been told, the reasoning for the holdup is to study the fire department's organization from the top down, and because the current promotional list is about 8 years old. With this reasoning, we're not really sure what's different from the last 2 promotions, which were made January 24th, which was a captain, and then just February 2nd, which was a deputy chief. This holdup on promotions is concerning for multiple reasons, but mostly because the decision to short staff our supervisors comes just a little over a month after we lost our brother Ben Polson while he died in the line of duty while fighting a house fire on Cote Brilliant. So these holdups also, they increase overtime for the city. They put members in a position to ride out a title. So that's privates that will be riding as captains without any pay increase, and they don't contribute anything to their pension while doing that. They're unfair to the members who are next up for promotion, and there's nothing in the city charter or civil service rules that state that promotions need to be approved by the public safety director. So we do agree that the current list the promotional list that we're operating from is dated. We have been continuing to pursue 3-year testing. The city has signed a contract with PSI. It's a testing company. They signed it back in this fall to start the exam process for battalion chief and captain. But we have not heard where that's been other than that there's a signed contract. While we wait for that process to go through for the new testing though, we do have a valid list to go off of. And I do have some differences in scores. So the number 6 candidate, which happens to be me, I was promoted on December 3rd, 2013 off this current list. My score was a 97.8. The current candidate that's up right now is firefighter Stephen Niehaus. He scored an 89.7. So that's an 8-point difference between 62 spots on the list. However, that far down, he's still scoring an 89.7, which is, pretty good. It was a very competitive process. So lastly on this, there's also a settlement agreement that was signed August of 2017, and that was between the city, the organization Fire, and Local 73. And that reads on page 3, paragraph 1, that the current eligible list for fire captain and battalion chief generated as a result of the disputed 2013 promotional exams will continue to be used for promotions until such time the director certifies new eligible lists for fire captain and fire battalion chief, respectfully based upon the results of exams to be given under the terms and conditions agreed to herein. The city will not intentionally delay promotions from the current list in anticipation of new lists being certified, nor will the city intentionally delay the next exam to extend the use of the current list. So with all that in closing, due to our lack of communication that we've been able to have with the personnel department or the mayor's office, Local 73 is asking this committee to use their powers as elected officials to investigate this issue and take any appropriate actions to prevent the obstruction of further promotions. And I want to thank all of you again for giving me the opportunity to speak to you. And that's kind of what we're dealing with right now. And wanted to see if we could get some help.
What I think I'll do, Vice Chairman Boyd, should I go down the list or just open it up? However, whatever you think.
First of all, I want to say, Captain Clark, it certainly pains me when I think about what happened on Cote Brilliant. You're the fire captain for my neighborhood. I live right around the corner from the firehouse. I believe in due process. I believe in fairness. This discussion probably should occur in the personnel committee, where we can have the director of personnel and the direct public safety director come in and just kind of talk through this. Our firefighters promotions have been a challenge in the city of St. Louis for as long as I have been an alderman. I mean, Fire Chief Sherman George lost his job over fire promotions, as it related to equity and equality and all of that. And so I certainly want to make sure we do the right thing. I want to err on the side of just doing the right thing. I think what I heard you, so what you read off, was that an agreement, a memorandum of understanding? What was that you read off?
It was, so it was a mediation agreement. So in 2000, I'm not sure when the lawsuit was actually filed. I know when it was closed, and that was, or when it was settled on, which was in August. But we went to mediation. So the organization Fire filed a lawsuit after the 2013 promotional exams. We, as Local 73, intervened. So it was between fire, the city, and Local 73. And we did mediation and came to an agreement. So what I read was a court decree, an actual settlement agreement that was agreed on with the parties.
And so in that agreement, I think I heard you say that we will basically use that list until we get a new list. That's in all summer. I mean, am I making sense there?
No, that's 100% right, Alderman.
Okay. All right. Okay. So something's wrong in Denmark. So, okay.
And correct. And again, normally communication wise, this would be something we would deal with personnel or the mayor's office and both, but we are having a lack of communication with all offices right now. I mean, and I believe Alderman Vaquero has put in a bill, is it 189 on negotiation, a resolution, sorry, resolution 189 that deals exactly with that, because we're not the only ones that are having communication issues with these departments. And why that hurts us is because, we operate, especially with the fire department, the police department, all city government, we operate every day. We operate, and especially with the fire department, we operate 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365. So we need to get business done. And without having that communication, I have to reach out to committees like this and see if there's another way around it.
And I believe, Alderman Bosley, are you able to, because I believe it's in personnel on Thursday. I believe the same subject's going to be on Thursday in personnel. If Alderman Bosley here, he might be able to answer. Is it,
we couldn't hear you.
I'm sorry, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah. Sorry about that. That is the bill we plan on hearing Thursday.
Okay, that's what I thought. So Alderman Boyd, you're right. And the reason I was doing this here is because firefighter Clark asked if he could talk. I think he was going to be out of town on Thursday, if I'm correct. But I got this not only from the firefighters, I got it from all the different unions, the carpenters, all the people that represent city workers, saying how impossible it is that nobody will return a call, that they can't get anything done. And that's what that was. So I just wanted, for clarification, I apologize.
And certainly, I'm good with it at the end of the day. I just try not to step on people's toes as much as possible. And I think we probably need to have even more hearings with the personnel department. And for some reason, the personnel department seems to be the department that most people have problems with. I mean, most directors that we have problems hiring people, the process seems to be so complicated. And I think we get razzle-dazzled when they appear before us, but I think it's time that we start looking more, do a deeper dive into the data. Instead of just listening to what's being told, we need to look at the data on, how many people are applying for jobs, how long does it take for them to get an interview, and what are we offering? If our wages are too low, how do we increase our wages? Because, city government, at the end of the day, it's almost like you work for the city because out of loyalty almost, because we don't get paid what people in the private sector get paid. And we put a lot on the line to serve our city. So, I'm definitely cool with having a discussion here. I just didn't want to step on anybody's toes. I certainly support people being promoted. They deserve their just due. If you're private and you operate in a captain's capacity, and that's not right. You deserve some type of compensation, period, bar none, period. And I think what we do is we abuse our employees when we put them in positions of authority, but we don't give them a compensation, but yet we give them a responsibility and we hold them accountable. That's not fair. That's a double standard. So I'm definitely with, trying to fix this problem. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Welcome. We'll run down the list here. Alderwoman Davis.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm going to be very cautious in how I say this.
Okay, I'm gonna mute myself.
So I remember when we went through the ordeal with promotions that we were seeking during Chief George tenure. And a lot of this came about because we don't necessarily stay in our lanes, whether it's legislators, the executive branch, whomever. We don't stay in our lanes. And it gets messy, and it gets complicated, and it becomes embarrassing. And it was very simple. The decree that they came with through mediation, it's very straightforward. There's no ambiguity in those statements. It's very clear on how they should be moving forward. And so we have to put this in the Public Employees Committee, and we've got to deal with this extremely effectively. We can't continue to have our employees go through trauma every time they turn around, but yet they're showing up to work every day, doing a good job. And especially with our first responders, in most cases, risking their lives. This is beyond unnecessary. And I hope that we can get past this and get this moved forward, and most especially try to get something done with that personnel department, because it is a sinful thing to say that it's been over 8 years since there's been a new test. I don't know what else we can do other than probably get new rules for that department, as well as how executive branch works with these things, and put it in the charter, because we are really, really in bad shape. And all the unions have voiced their opinions. And I understand every now and then there may be one union group that you're having difficulty working with. It takes a moment. But when you're not communicating with any of them, what are we supposed to do? This is not healthy for our city. And I hope that we can come to some swift conclusions of, first of all, moving forward on this issue, and then secondly, how to go back and address all of this and realign ourselves. Thank you very much.
I'm sorry, I didn't get, anyway. Alderwoman Howard.
I agree with what's been said previously. I just, it's embarrassing to think that our public safety and our employees have to go through the things they go through. I hope that going forward, they will listen to what the court has ordered to be done, and we can get this fixed and get a new test. I mean, it just seems to me this is beyond the pale, and how we treat our employees. And I feel somewhat helpless with this, because it just seems to me as, people need to make decisions in their own lane, not go dipping in areas that they don't need to be concerned with. And I mean, the court ordered this, so why are we trying to remand it and change it? So, but I hope we can get this straightened out in the personnel committee under the chairmanship of Mr. Alderman Bosley, and get it all sorted out and expedite this, because this is just foolish. So thank you so much for coming, Mr. Clark, or Firefighter Clark. Captain Clark, is it Captain?
Yes, Alderwoman, it is Captain, and you're very welcome.
Okay, thank you so much.
Alderwoman Kara Spencer.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I don't have any questions, just, desire to see this addressed. We're having a hard time recruiting first responders and retaining them, and this is certainly an important issue. And, support anything we can do to get this moving forward. I point out that we've had these issues for many, many years. This is not a new thing. And so, I'm just hoping that we can have some motion on this. Thank you, Mr. Chair. That's all I have.
Thank you. Alderwoman Pam Boyd.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Captain Clark, for coming. I guess my frustration is I hear the frustration from the fire department and the police department and all the city employees, because it's, and I just want you all to know, don't feel like you're the only one in this bucket, because you're not. And so I think Alderman Bossy has a big job ahead of him, because challenging the personnel department has been his goal since he became the chair. So he's really been trying to make some moves to support those employees in the city. So I'm in agreement with the prior statements that we need to make sure this is taken care of. And 8 years is a long time to keep dabbling into something and don't get results. So I hope that things go better in the personnel department and you get the meat that you need to complete this.
Can I give a point of clarification?
Sure.
And thank you. So just so everybody knows, the personnel department did approve these upcoming promotions. So they sent the letter to the appointing authority, Chief Jinkerson, to make these promotions. This was held up by the public safety director, which is why I came to this committee. And I believe it probably needs to go to personnel as well, but that is really why I started with this committee, is because personnel did okay them.
Oh,
Thank you for the clarity, Captain Clark.
Oh, I guess, okay. Alderman Brandon Bosley.
Thank you, and I appreciate you being here. Just for further clarification, you said Captain Jinkerson?
No, Chief Jinkerson, but he's.
I'm sorry, Chief Jinkerson. I'm sorry. Chief Jinkerson is the one is who's holding it up, or is the public safety department holding it up? Just
the public, Dan Isom,
public
safety director.
Dan Isom. Okay. Have you gotten anything in writing saying like there's a particular reason for it? Do we know?
So I have an email from. I do have an email from Chief Jinkerson. On February 16th, I emailed Chief Jinkerson and asked him if he had an update on the captain of battalion chief promotions that we knew were up for promotion. And the response I got back to from him was the promotions as requested for the open positions of battalion chief, one battalion chief and one fire captain returned to my office as not approved on February 11th. By Director Isom.
There was no reasoning behind it?
No reasoning in writing. I did see Chief Jinkerson afterwards and asked if he had heard anything else. And he had said that he was told they were on hold so that Director Isom could relook at the structure of the fire department from the top down, and because of our current promotional list being sold, the 8 years, the age on it.
Understood. So the reason is behind it is they want to update the list and then relook at how promotions are being done.
Or just the whole organizational structure maybe of the department. Yes, sir.
Okay.
It's
just good to clarify to have understanding. So yeah, I definitely hope this is something we can hash out. I think, there's definitely a lot of things, of course, that need to be restructured within the city. And I think it works definitely in our favor when we start doing more reorganizations, because there's a lot of folks that ain't getting paid what they should be getting paid. Like we were just being talked about, it's a lot of different tools that you all need, updating certain technologies that, we definitely should be looking at how it is we start putting ourselves in the forefront of, taking care of our employees and seeing how we can kind of grow our employee base, because a lot of folks don't want to work for the city. And as soon as they get a little bit of opportunity, folks tend to leave. So we definitely want to do what we can to continue to make you all feel appreciated And so anything we can do to, kind of get the director to the table, personnel to the table, so we can all have these type of conversations and how, figure out how we can balance these things out and get everybody to an amicable solution. That's where I would like to start taking things. One big thing that has taken place, we do have a new director, interim director. We haven't had a chance to see what different types of things they will do differently. Hopefully he does a lot of things differently. Of course, there's been a big problem with communication between the different departments and personnel for a very long time, especially when it comes to hiring, giving folks raises, a lot of different things. So, with that being said, I look forward to, seeing what we can do to, get everybody to the table and work things out. And I really appreciate your service. And some folks wouldn't have took this to the committee like that. So, kudos to you.
I think Alderman, let's see, Alderman Collins Muhammad, I don't think he's with us. Alderman not with us. Alderman Brett Naraya.
Thank you, Chairman. I just want to echo the sentiment of my colleagues that I hope that we can get this unstuck. It seems like for whatever reason, this has been allowed to get stuck in the mud over time. And I'm not entirely clear. I think we probably need to dig into it further. I'm not entirely clear whether this is the appropriate committee because this is, the public safety director, or if, public employees should be digging into it. But, if it goes through public employees and it has to come back here for whatever reason, that could make sense to me also. And just while I have Captain Clark here, though, I did want to give him a shout out on the 22nd of last month. I know that he pulled an adult and 2 children out of a fire over on Kensington, and just wanted to congratulate him on that. That's awesome work, and just a testament to why we need to make sure that these men and women are getting what they deserve. And when we put that kind of responsibility on people to go into burning buildings and pull residents out of them, we need to make sure that we're compensating them appropriately. And so, I'm here for you, Captain Clark. Whatever you guys need, let me know, whether it's in this committee or whether it's with the full board, or leaning on my friend and colleague from the 3rd Ward over in public employees. Let me know what you guys need, and I'm here for it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Alderman. And that February 22nd, it's times like those that's why we do this job. That was not everybody gets to make rescues, and it was definitely an amazing day that everybody went home safe.
I'm glad you were there.
So let's go down here. So Alderwoman Clark Hubbard, I don't believe she's here. Alderman James Page.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I don't have questions or comments that have not already been offered. I would like to thank the captain for his heroic service, and look forward to hearing more about this issue, but no questions or comments that have not already been put before us. Thank you.
Okay, and as I just want to brag about this one for a second. My son, who is a firefighter, paramedic out in Melville, has received the Medal of Valor, and I believe he's received it twice. And way back when he got it the first time, I found out, because the kids looked like they won the Olympics, he actually threw it into the toy box. Because what I found is that most of these firefighters don't like the praise and the whatever. He gives me all this stuff about, Dad, I don't want to be an outstanding fireman. And I said, what are you talking about? I said, I don't want to be outstanding on the lawn while everybody else is in fighting the fires. So he's always seems to want to be on the inside of this. And these guys are crazy. I've determined that firefighters, he had a nice job. He's a captain out there now, but he had a nice, simple job, and then requested to get put back on a pumper because he's crazy. Just an opinion. Anyway, Dan, the way you do, you guys certainly takes a certain group, and for all the haters, they actually came, I guess it was 3 years ago when I was having my heart attack and saved my life and kept me alive. And I guess my wife's appreciative, I hope. The old joke, I was a little concerned. They said we did all we could, but he pulled through anyway. It's kind of an old joke. Anyway, does anybody off the committee, Annie Rice, I see you're here. Anybody off the committee, any questions or comments for Captain Clark?
No questions, just listening.
Okay, well, then, Captain Clark, thank you so much for joining us. And I know tomorrow I'll be speaking on this, and certainly you're welcome. I would assume you have to get on the speakers list, but we're going to be talking about this tomorrow in Alderman Bosley's committee. But thank you so much for coming today.
Thank you, everyone, for your time. Have a good day.
Okay, so for the good of the committee, does anybody have anything they want to discuss, talk about, bring up, or anything? Any resolutions? Vice Chairman Boyd, you look like you want to say something.
Not really, but if you want me to say something, I just would want to encourage all our employees to be, especially our first responders, to be nothing short of courteous to every citizen of the city of St. Louis, no matter what side of town they live on. We all deserve courtesy. We all deserve exceptional service. So I just want to say that. Thank you.
I think I know what you're hinting to, and I plan to.
Don't be presumptuous. Stop, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Anyone else have anything for the good of the committee?
I'll say one thing, and I'll make it super quick.
Okay.
It is going to be quick.
Okay. Are you sure? Quick for you could be 30 minutes.
Nope, it's going to be like 60 seconds.
Oh, okay. I'm just kidding. I'm in a good mood. I thought I'd teach you.
Can I time?
No, real quick though. So we had some shootings over the last few days or the weekend when it's warm outside. I just want us as the public safety committee. That's probably going to be something that happens a little bit more frequently, unfortunately. As we got all of this money in the pot, I just want us to start thinking about, got a phone call. My apologies. Don't add that to my time. But I want us to start thinking about realistically with all these different technologies that's out here that exist for us to really be proactive and deterrent in our efforts. Let's figure out how we can put some infrastructure out here on some of these poles, utilize this electric that's out here, and really do some things that are impactful that we can utilize, as something to say, hey, we spent this money and we tried to do something, utilizing tech or just whatever it is. At some point in time, hopefully we'll be a smart city, but with all of this shooting and everything that's going on, we got to start utilizing technology, to help with some of our efforts. And I think we've already tried to utilize manpower, and we see that the manpower is saying that we need extra this or extra that. So, just being mindful, we get all this money. I just want us to, if we can, at some point in time, let's sit down and get some computers together and let's actually have some conversation on, how we can spend it. Spend $1 million or $500,000 on straight tech stuff. So, thank you.
At any meeting that you would like to even have a meeting solely on that in public safety, and you want to call in, you want me to, we can get in anybody you want. You just let me know. We can do a meeting anytime you want. In fact, anybody on or off this committee, if you want to put some, if you are interested, we can ask everyone come in for that. So, and I'm amazed that you held it within that 60 seconds. Just picking on you. I love you. Anybody else for the good of the committee? Hearing none. And everybody, it's for all of us Catholics, where all the fish fries are, it's Lent. I didn't get my hashes yet. But all the good fish fries will be on. So everybody enjoy themselves, and I'll see you tomorrow. So I'll take a motion to adjourn the meeting. Tomorrow being in public, it implies I have to be in Alderman Boyd's tomorrow.
So moved.
Okay. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
God bless. Thank you guys for coming out, and we'll see you next meeting.
Thank you.